On an April morning in Milan, white magnolia petals quietly bloomed along the cobblestone sidewalks, leaving a scent in the air as gentle as memory, soft and fleeting. The city exhaled through distant church bells, making room for the first footsteps of a day full of promise. In the heart of District 6, where luxury fashion boutiques lined the streets like thrones reserved for the elite, stood an old building with a gold-plated sign, Aurora d'Oro. No fashion lover in Milan was unaware of this place. Here, wedding dresses weren't displayed, they were guarded like treasures. What is the starting price for a custom gown? 75,000, not including the waiting period. The glass door slowly revolved. A woman stepped inside, not with hurried steps, not with ostentation. She wore a cream white crew-neck sweater, neatly pressed beige wide-leg trousers. Her hair was tied low with a plain cloth ribbon. Her face was bare of makeup, save for soft brown eyes and a hint of rose on her lips. On her shoulder hung an unbranded canvas, toed its gently creased strap hinted at long-time use, perhaps even affection. Her name was Clara Rivel, 30 years old, and the moment she stepped into the sparkling interior of Aurora d'Oro, eyes scanned her from head to toe as if she were a smudge on a crystal pane. One of 4 staff members, all dressed in fitted black dresses, hair pulled into sleek buns, high heels clicking, raised an eyebrow. "Can I help you?" The voice was not loud, but it bore no intention of welcome. Clara smiled, the smile of someone far too familiar with judgment, yet who still chose composure. "I have a bridal fitting appointment. 10 a.m. My name is Clara Rivel." She raised her phone, displaying the confirmation email emblazoned with the unmistakable Aurora logo. The woman, Elena the boutique manager, glanced quickly at the screen, then back at Clara's clothes, as if comparing a royal invitation to a crumpled carnival ticket. A half smirk curled her lips. "Oh, there must be a mistake. Perhaps you walked into the wrong boutique by accident." Then a sharper jab. "We don't rent dresses, and ours aren't cheap." In the corner, Livia, a fashion influencer with tens of thousands of followers, lowered her head and let out a mocking chuckle, whispering something to her friend. Their laughter rippled through the room like theater giggles, but here, the script had no victory written for the main character. Clara maintained her polite smile. "I commissioned my dress 6 months ago. Italian silk, hand embroidery, V-neck, measurements submitted. Today is the first fitting." Her response was calm, eerily calm. No raised voice, no indignation, just words released with the rhythm of practiced patience. Elena folded her arms, heels tapping slowly against the polished wood floor. "Sounds lovely, but I've never heard of you. Maybe because I'm not famous," Clara replied softly. "Or maybe because that's not your real name," Livia interjected, eyes never leaving her phone. Inside the boutique, light from a crystal chandelier gleamed off pure white gowns like mist, like snow, like purity framed in glass. Clara stood among them. No designer dress, no jewelry, no name tag, just a woman walking into the right place, at the right time, the right way, yet still treated as wrong. Livia's phone tilted subtly. Her eyes sparkled with cruel delight. "This is too good not to share," a live stream began. No caption, no context. Just the image of a woman who looked too naive to be real, trying to prove her right to try on a wedding dress in a boutique meant for the ultra-rich. "She thinks she can buy a dress here," Livia whispered to the camera, as the chandelier's glow cast a surreal light over Clara's calm expression, easily mistaken for pretension. The comments rolled in. "Wow, drama queen. Somebody call security. Did she just come from a flea market?" Clara heard it all, but her expression remained still. Her hand clutched her bag strap like a tree unmoved, though the wind howled. "I'd like to speak with the store director." Her voice was not loud, but it filled the room. Elena laughed, a sharp glass cutting sound. "I am the director, and this isn't a place for daydreamers trying on fantasy like a borrowed tiara." Laughter swept the room as afternoon tea was served with humiliation as dessert. 2 days later, the sky over Tuscany unfurled, like a silk ribbon stretched across Monteverde Valley. A light breeze carried a lavender scent through every stone corner of the ancient castle. The wedding of Adrian Rousseau, a powerful young CEO, was the event of the year 1778. Editors, designers, and elites had all gathered, and Clara, the woman once kicked out of a bridal boutique, appeared, not in a wedding gown, not on anyone's arm, just a pale linen dress, square neckline, mid-length sleeves, worn flats, no branded purse, no heavy makeup. She stood quietly in the castle courtyard, like a breeze lost in a universe of diamonds. "No way," Livia whispered to Brielle. Cameras clicked. "Is she trying to crash this wedding too?" A glass of rose flew toward Clara. The pink liquid shattered on her dress, bleeding into the fabric like a wound without blood. "Take your cheap trash back to Brooklyn," someone yelled. Laughter echoed off the castle walls. Clara didn't blink. She took a tissue, dabbed the stain, and placed it into her bag. Every motion was unhurried, like she existed in a world where reactions were optional. "What are you doing here?" Elena appeared again, this time in a glittering cocktail dress. "This wedding's not for you. Leave before we call security." As Clara turned to walk away, a voice rose from behind. Clara, Anna, the boutique assistant who had once stayed silent, stood there clutching her purse, eyes wide with guilt and something deeper. Sorrow. "I'm sorry. That day, I saw everything. I should have said something, but I didn't." Clara looked at her a long moment, then nodded gently. "I know, but you just did." That's what matters most. Inside the grand hall, candles flickered like floating stars. The orchestra paused. A hush spread across the crowd. The main doors opened, and Clara Revelle stepped in. This time she wore the wedding gown, the one she had been denied. Floor-length, hand-embroidered, soft lace draping from the shoulders. Her hair is in an elegant bun, adorned with a single jade pin. She held Adrian's hand, the man everyone expected to marry, a model, a princess, a star. The silence was frozen. Adrian stepped forward, gaze melting every doubt. "I'd like to introduce you to my wife, Clara Revelle. We've been together for years, quietly planning this day." Clara never wanted attention. She never wanted judgment. A breath held. Clara is also the founder and CEO of Rive, the sustainable fashion brand worn by over 200 people in this room without even knowing it. And she purchased Aurora Doro 3 weeks ago. No one spoke. No one stood firm in their fake confidence anymore. Clara said only one sentence. "I don't need revenge. I only need the truth to appear at the right time." She turned to Anna. "But I will not keep those who poison others." Elena, Livia, Brielle. Their names were called. They were fired on the spot. Live streams cut. Phones confiscated. The ones who had humiliated Clara became the punchline of the same internet that once applauded them. Clara stood at the podium, her voice calm but resounding like a bronze bell. "I didn't create Reve to sell dresses. I created it to change how women feel about themselves. This industry has lived off exclusion for too long. Starting today, we will make beauty for everyone." She turned to Anna, smiling. "And Reve needs a new face. I choose you." Anna broke down in tears. Night fell. Lanterns swayed under the old vineyard trellis. Clara and Adrian danced in the garden, the music soft like breath after a storm. No one dared doubt her again. No one dared close their eyes to dignity. She didn't need to shout, didn't need to prove, because now she was no longer just the woman who endured contempt. She was the light, born from the fire that once tried to burn her.